Republic City. The epitome of technology in the Avatar universe. But what would it look like if it was set in the 80s? With the advent of cinema in 1895 by the famous Lumiere brothers, it's safe to say that the Legend of Korra is set somewhere at the dawn of the 20th century. After all, Varric did invent the seventh art around that time. While Korra presents a mishmash of all things Industrial Revolution, it's safe to say that she could live until the equivalent of what is our 80s. In today's video, I will explore the evolution of Lightning Generation through the years with Thunderbending, talk about dragons, and hint about a possible 80s avatar. Let's get into it. The root of the order, called the Thunder Knights, lies in Azula's organized criminals, the Fire Warriors. As you probably know by now, Azula went dad cuckoo at the end of the Avatar animated series. But that was not the last of her we would see. In the comic book sequel called The Search, Team Avatar minus Toph sets out to find Zuko's mother Ursa. And since Azula was the one who got the information about Ursa's possible location, Zuko had the brilliant idea of letting her tag along. Unbound. Yep, fresh out of a mental asylum, Azula obviously makes trouble for the gang, and eventually disappears without a sight. Her original plan to take the Fire Lord throne from Zuko turns into something even more wicked in the Smoke and Shadow trilogy. In the comic book, she creates a group of female warriors called the Fire Warriors. These women, all escapees from mental institutions, band together and costume themselves as the dark spirits Kimuri Kage. In full-on cosplay, Azula and her insane pack start abducting children, manipulated Mei's father Ukano in attacking Fire Lord Zuko, and brought general chaos into the Fire Nation capital. Azula's new goal with the Fire Warriors was to force Zuko into aligning his beliefs with Azula's more tyrannical ideology. From this day forward, Azula decided to work in the shadows and try to create a sort of Fire Lord Ozai 2 through her brother Zuko. Now, I'm pretty sure a bunch of firebending lunatics would have a hard time staying together without going on full pyromaniac mode. This is why I believe that sometime before my imagined 80s-inspired Avatar, the group would have split into three factions. The Fire Warriors would remain trying to control the Fire Lord's affairs behind the scenes. Then a second group called the Smoke Clan would work towards taking the throne for themselves. And finally, we would have the Thunder Knights, to which I now turn. In a lot of adventure series, the good guys and the villains are often strictly categorized as one or the other. While Avatar and The Legend of Korra have their own evil villains, both shows have well-written and complex characters. Not all characters are aligned with either darkness or light. Some navigate a gray area where context matters. I want to situate the Thunder Knights somewhere in this gray area. They can be described more as an anti-hero than actual villains, operating somewhere between good and evil. Although they originate from the Fire Warriors, the Thunder Knights are way more flashy than the other two orders, making sure the Fire Nation authorities know that they exist. Their main goal is to keep an eye on both the Fire Warriors, making sure they don't overstep and get greedy with power. Their relationship with the Smoke Clan is a bit more rocky, as they want them gone for good. While this all sounds very honorable, the Thunder Knights are also a bit like the Yakuza, as they control a few criminal organizations throughout the Fire Nation, but also in Republic City. For example, they had a hand in the Triple Threat Triad organization when Lightning Bolt Zolt was the gang's leader, before Viper took over, and then the Chi blocker Tokuga. While the extra cash helps them finance the fancy armors they make their Thunder Dragons wear and their black and blue uniform, they also own the Knights Lightningbending Academy. This is where they train Lightningbenders, who are in charge of providing electricity to the whole city, and the demand is higher than ever in the 80s-looking electric town. But what's more interesting about the school is that this is where the next Avatar's story begins. The new Avatar's look would include light gray jeans, a black t-shirt, and a dark green leather jacket. According to the Avatar cycle, the next element in line would be Earth, and since metalbending would become even more spread, the new Avatar would sport a color palette similar to the one the Beifong family wore in Zaofu. Armed with his pink Walkman, probably listening to some synth pop, they would visit Republic City to master lightningbending, and if things go well, perhaps the Knights would teach him the dangerous yet powerful art of thunderbending, which requires total control of one's emotions in order to turn the sky into a powerful weapon. Or at least that's what he hoped for. During his first day at the academy, the Smoke Clan would attack, filling the academy with smoke-bending shadows. This is where he would meet his new friend who would eventually make the new team avatar, the Thunderbender, Sanda. The problem is the girl would be the Thunder Knights leader's daughter, who, as I explained earlier, deals in some shady stuff behind the scenes. While they would have to face the Thunder Knights later on, for now, Aoran would team up with Sanda and her baby thunder dragon Denki, and together survive their first encounter against the evil Smoke Clan. And this is where Avatar: The Story of Aoran would begin. Which other characters could make the new team avatar? Get creative in the comments below. Under my video on sub-bending lion turtle, user Micah Williams asks, why doesn't someone else join with a spirit and become an avatar? While I think an avatar state can only be possible when merging with Rava or Vatu, Micah brings up an interesting idea. With the portals now open, possibilities do seem endless. What's your take on that idea?